The candidates will have 2 minutes to answer the questions.
Yes, my name is Dan Chapman from Lebanon here, and I am very concerned about illegals voting for you and for other people. What is your view on showing ID to vote?
I don't need 2 minutes to say yes. It surprises me that our governor would be opposed to doing that. I mean, that shouldn't be a partisan thing. We shouldn't have honest elections, but of course at the federal level we don't have that. But at the state, see, the one good thing is voting is at the state level. It's run by the states, and so our state can require that ID, and we should. But the governor wants to veto it.
Yes, it should be mandatory, and I don't need 2 minutes either.
You know, we have so many other laws that we throw on the books as a federal thing. Why isn't that something that's been thrown on the federal thing?
I could answer that. Because a certain political party would like to have people not be held too accountable who are voting. I got that one.
We'll go back to this aisle. Are there any questions here? And this aisle?
Ask me if I'm pro-life.
6 years later, I hope so.
6 years later.
Was there a question here?
Are you crossing the aisle or not?
Yes.
We're just going through. I've got a, I guess, a dumb question. A little closer. And that is with Obamacare being a mandated tax, would you support a proposition to require all eligible households to have a weapon, and those who choose not to be taxed like
That's putting a whole new spin on the Second Amendment, isn't it? I bet you that wouldn't seem like Obamacare wouldn't seem like such a good idea if that came up, would it? Interesting enough, did you know that in Switzerland they really do that? Everybody has a rifle. They have a standing army that way. Yeah, that's right. They're issued by the government. You know that? Are they fully auto?
Yes, they are.
Are they really? Yeah.
Fully automatic, but they provide ammunition and training for them on an annual basis.
10,000 rounds. They even supply them with tanks you can call them and park in the garage.
They even have tanks too.
Shooting competition.
Right. Did you want to do something?
Go ahead.
Kennesaw, Georgia also has a law that puts every citizen must have a firearm.
That's Georgia?
Yes,
Kennesaw.
Is that for the whole state, or is that for one?
Kennesaw, Georgia, city.
Just one city? Yeah, yeah,
No crime rate.
yeah. I bet you that knocks the crime rate down a whole doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty favorable on Second Amendment, and of course I've been in the military, have 3 kids in the Marines, and we had in fact a raffle the other night where people could bid on shooting pistols with me, and they have a good pistol range out in St. Charles, and we went out there, and I borrowed a 40 caliber that we were shooting, and the trouble was it was a pretty good evening until my son showed up, the Marine, and cranked the target back from where he'd been shooting, and the bullets are in a pattern about this big, right around the bullseye and the first ring near it, and then mine was sort of about this big. It was fun until he showed off his dad pretty well. Yeah. Good. Yeah, so did you want anything else in that?
Second Amendment, I mean, I'm for it 100%. And I don't have a problem sitting right here saying that falls right under what I was saying earlier. The Constitution does not allow anybody to take anybody else's rights away from them. And the Second Amendment is there for a reason. It's to protect all the other amendments.
If you think about it a little bit on the Constitution and the way our government is designed, we have all these checks and balances, don't we? We've got federal, state, and local, the vertical separation of powers. We've got the legislative, executive, judicial, right? So all these checks and balances, the written Constitution is to keep people from just going crazy on something, and so that Congress. This is a big deal to me. You know what the British were wanting to do? Pick up guns and ammunition in Concord. They were going to hang a couple people on the way, Adams and Hancock, but it was largely to pick up guns and ammunition. And down in around Jamestown, the same kind of thing happened, and that's how Patrick Henry kind of got involved, because the British were trying to collect guns and ammunition. So it's not like these things are necessarily new.
No.
If you use it to protect yourself from the government.
That's right. Okay.
You have a question up here?
I think I can make it heard. What about the UN going to control the weapons, small arms treaty?
The question was about the small arms treaty coming out of the UN. Everybody hear that?
Well, we can take them all. They're all good,
They're
juicy
all good.
questions, you know. Well, let's see, we got the UN's got the small arms treaty. They've got Agenda 21 to help you know how to take care of your farmland. They've got the Treaty on the Child, which really takes children away from parents to a degree. There is a solution to this problem. What does it suggest? What do you think the suggestion is? Get us out of the United Nations.
That's one reason I kind of support this guy. You know, it's real easy to, when you're up here with somebody that thinks a lot like you and everything, it's really hard to sit here and, you know, have a debate over the different answers. I've listened to him for the last 2 months now. We've been at different candidate forums and everything. He's a good man. I'm better. No. Thank God I'm not running against him. But right down the line, we need to get out of the United Nations. At least that's my opinion. And they do have a function. I just don't believe they're what we need.
That won't last without your land and money.
True.
Okay, we're right back here on this row.
This lady right here has her hand up. Here.
Well, actually, it was about the same thing that this gentleman talked about, this treaty that's being signed right now, that the Secretary of State is supposed to be attending this meeting. It's supposed to be a multinational meeting, and they're supposed to be signing a treaty, and it's supposed to subvert our constitutional rights, and we are supposed to make sure that it's not ratified by Congress. So, do you know anything about this? And if you do you know any details on it, or when it's happening? And
I don't know which specific treaty you're talking about, but the Constitution requires how many votes to ratify a treaty?
2/3.
2/3 of what? The Senate, which is 67 votes. It takes a lot to get 67 votes, especially if it's some treaty that has anything to do with our sovereignty. I much doubt that kind of thing will go through.
Law of the sea.
Yeah, law of the sea. I could have thrown law of the sea in there too as well. Yeah, law of the sea has got more chance of passing because there's a lot of big business people that want that one to go. Okay, so I didn't say that.
I did see something on it. There is nothing official that I've seen, and it's all been second and third hand. I agree with the young lady that we do not need to be part of that. We do not need to sign any treaty to take any of our constitutional rights or sovereignty away. I don't know all the details to it. It's all been second and third hand, so I don't even know if there's any truth to it. So that's where I'm at. I've been looking on the internet and everywhere else. I have not found anything in concrete.